All right. We are going to be doing what we always do, even though I'm not here. I'm recording this during my period 3 class. So, you period 5 and 6ers, same thing as all the other classes are doing. We are going to get ready for our inverse derivatives quiz. We are then going to take the quiz, but it's going to be online. You, period 5 and 6ers, can already see the quiz available to you, but you won't be able to submit it, or you weren't able to submit it until later. You guys here in period 3 and period 4, your quiz on Friday. Friday's a review day. Today's the last lesson. Your quiz on Friday is online. You can already see it, but you won't be able to access it until the class period. Your class on Friday is just like what my B-Day classes are experiencing today. They're going to watch a video practicing the last lesson. You will then take the quiz online. That's it for you guys on Friday with the sub. Question? You sure? Other questions? When you're done with the quiz on Friday, there's nothing new to learn. You can just work on AP Classroom or just chill the rest of the day. Okay? That's what you guys are doing on Friday. B-Day students, today. And I'm going to see you on Monday for the review day. But today, you're doing what everybody's doing. Practice problems, take the quiz online, and then you guys will watch the video of the last lesson, linear approximations, once you're done with the quiz. So let's go to it. Derivatives of inverses. For 3/4 of the problems for your quiz today, you just need to be able to fill out this table. If F's got the point A, B, and its derivative at A is C, G, its inverse, has the flip-flop points. And the slope ends up being a reciprocal. Okay, that's it. That's the lesson for 3/4 of the lesson before we get to inverse derivatives, inverse trig derivatives. So let's find G prime of 3. Whoa, sorry, that's a G. My bad. It's a G, obviously. We're talking about G, okay? So let's find G prime of 3. Go. Some of you already done. Man, I know it's gloomy out there today, but like, splash some water on your face, run outside for 30 minutes, and then let's focus. And I know it's getting hot in here, and they turned on the heat for the building, and everybody's room got a massive amount of heat, and this room went up to 80 degrees. Okay, go. Talk about this with your neighbors. Let's get the answer. Ready? Ready? It's easy. G prime of 3. G prime of 3. So that's an x coordinate on this inverse function. If I know the slope of f when its y coordinate is 3, I'll know the slope of g when its x coordinate is 3. So I just filled out the 3 for the b's. Now let's fill out the a's. I am told a bunch of information. One piece of information I will use, the other ones I'm going to ignore. F of 1 is 3. That means g of 3 is 1. If you find f prime of 1, you'll know what g prime of 3 is. You have to do a little bit of work to find f prime at 1. But that's not hard. You've taken derivatives before. This is the slope. This is c, which means g prime of 3, and the answer to our question is 1/5. That's 80% of the lesson. Okay? Next question. Sometimes you won't even be given a function. You're just going to give some information. This is some x values, some f of x values, and some f prime values. And I'm asking you, what is f inverse prime of 4? Well, my friends, f inverse can be thought of as g. You're just going to fill out the table. B, A, B, A, B, A. Go. Inverses have flip-flopped points and reciprocal slopes at corresponding flip-flopped points. Okay, tell your neighbors what's the answer. Did you get it? What did you get? Good. It just looked like you're like, whoa, but you knew what it is. Everybody else getting 2? Yes? I know it's been a long weekend plus a day, and it's super dark outside. The second period was like asleep. F inverse prime of 4. 4, 4. What's A? Well, when f has a y coordinate of 4, that's right there. Its x coordinate is 2. 2, 2, 2. I need to find f prime of 2. It was told to me. F prime of 2 is a half. I'll know f inverse prime of 4. It's just the reciprocal. Flip-flop points, reciprocal slopes. That's inverses for you. Now, there's a couple questions that were not on your homework that I should have put on your homework. They're going to be on your quiz. And they're good questions because we're going to review e to the x and log x and their derivatives. So, probably should have put this on your homework, but you didn't have it. But let's get ready for it now. My function is log x cubed. Here's a couple points on log x cubed. 1, 0, right? The log of 1 is 0. E3, the log of e cubed is 3. 3, log 27. The log of 27 is just the log of 27. I would like you to find f inverse prime of 3. Go. Fill out your table. You don't know where to start. You're going to see something just like this on your quiz. And you B-Day students, you might actually end up having the exact same problem. I don't know. I made like 5 different versions of each quiz last year to prevent cheating. It's exhausting. But like, this might show up on one of the quizzes. It show up on your quiz. Okay, check your answers with the neighbor. Fill out your table, then know what you have to do. So now you should know what to do. Let's find out. A, B, A, B, A, B. All right, x coordinates, x coordinates. If this is C, the other one's 1 over C. All right, I want to find f inverse prime of 3. Let's start filling out f inverse prime of 3. So that's when f inverse has an x coordinate of 3. I'm going to look at when f's got a y coordinate of 3. Oh, haha. F of e is 3. So I'm going to focus my attention on E3 on F, and I will find F prime of E. This is your goal. You have to get here. Now, do a little bit of work, and then you'll be able to get your answer for F inverse prime of 3. I have to take the derivative of log x cubed. It's got an O and an I. The O is log, the I is x cubed. I know you guys had your group quiz. So you obviously work together to make sure you have this understanding of the derivative of log x cubed, right? If you showed up to class. Exactly right. So the derivative of log x cubed is 1 over parentheses. What starts in the parentheses stays in the parentheses times 3x squared. I would like you to simplify that to be 3 over x. The 3x squareds goes to the top. X squared, cancel, leaves us with 1x in the bottom. I need to find f prime of e. F prime of e is 3 over e. That's not my answer. That's f prime of e. I want f inverse prime of 3. Well, it's just going to be this flipped. E over 3. On your quiz today, if you have a fraction, you will type in, like if you had to type in this answer and there's some fill in the blank questions, you have to type in 3 divided by e. Like that. You guys cool with that?
Yes.
And if it's negative, you put the negative in front. Okay? Yeah.
I guess since it's an online quiz, this is a no, but if we fail to simplify, is that going to be wrong?
I believe I have unsimplified answers as the answer choices. So if you kept 3x squared over x cubed, and you had 3e squared over e cubed, and then you flipped it and you had e cubed over 3e squared, just know I don't want you to type that in. So yes, simplify it. Okay? You'll never have to type in any squareds. So if you're ever typing that in, like just don't. You'll probably just simplify it. Okay? But I believe I put answer choices that are correct but unsimplified, even though I don't want you to do it. Got it? All right.
Is that all? Is it all three response, or is
It's some multiple choice, some fill in the blank. Okay, different question. Find the equation of the tangent line to the inverse of this function at x equals 1. Here are some points: 0, 1, 1e, 2, e to the 8th. Now, just so that there isn't any confusion, in my table, we are talking about the inverse at x equals 1. I want a 1 there and a 1 here. Your equation will come from this information. Okay? So when you're doing your quiz today, make sure you're going off of the inverse's x coordinate. The x coordinate is on the inverse. I already don't like this. Change it to e. Sorry, I have to give you another point. F of e is e to the e cubed. That's a distractor point. You don't need it. Okay. Okay, now go. The first answer was like 0, which means the inverse would be undefined. All right, start working with your neighbors. A lot of people don't want to start doing anything. We got this.
Mr. Lester, I can talk to him. Wait, so what'd you get for like? I was so close. That's a step. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, okay, I get that. I just didn't know that, okay. And then you use, where is it? It's one of, oh.
All All right, here's my table. G has to have the point E1. I'm going to find G prime of E. F will have the point 1E, which it does. So I need to find F prime of 1. To find F prime, we remember derivatives of E's. You use the chain rule. This would be the derivative of E to the parentheses. This is the derivative of the inside. You multiply those together. It's a good little review. You get E to the x cubed times 3x squared. I need to figure out what this is at 1. E times 3. Okay, so this is 3E. This is 1 over 3E. Type it in like that, that's fine. Though, yeah, just type it in like that. Okay? Not done yet. If this was a question, it would be multiple choice on your online quiz where you won't have to worry about typing in perfectly. You'd be able to see this. X1, Y1. Some people get the points all flip-flop, but just like stick with your information on the inverse. X minus E, 1 over 3E, Y minus 1. Got it? Okay, just a couple more. You'll have a couple questions where you'll have to write the derivative of an inverse trig function. I'm giving you the rules for your quiz. Okay, so at the end of this video, pause the last screen I put up, which is the inverse derivative rules. All you got to do is use the chain rule correctly, plug in the value correctly. It's a derivative rules problem. It's not supposed to be a tricky, complicated problem. Arc sine is the same as sine inverse. This is the derivative of sine inverse. If this was sine inverse parentheses, you'd have parentheses there. O and I it. 4 is just a constant. You can leave it out to the side. Write the derivative, plug in 1/6, and then you're going to have to simplify. I think the answer is, I don't know what the answer is. It's like 8 root 3.
Actually,
8 root 3 is the answer.
oh, I need to do that.
If you're not sure where to start with this.
That's 12. Oh, one.
Yeah, that's all correct.
So far, so good. Any questions about anything so far? It's just a new derivative rule. I'm going to give you the rule, but it's just chain rule, something that should not, intimidate you too much besides the fact that it just looks different. You plug in 1/6, 3 times a 6 is a half. Now, I do see people struggle with the simplification of this. Just take your time. Don't try to do too many steps at once. 1/2 squared. 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. 1 minus 1/4, that's 4/4 minus a fourth, that's 3/4. The square root of 3/4 is the same as the square root of 3 divided by the square root of 4, which is 2. Dividing is the same as multiplying by a reciprocal. Dividing by a half is the same as multiplying by 2. Dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by a half. Getting me this. Maybe you see this on a multiple choice answer. Maybe you need to be prepared to rationalize to get this, which then turns into that. Let's do another one. Derivative of arctan 5x at root 3 over 5. There's the derivative of arctangent x. 1 over 1 plus x squared. Finish your quiz and go.
Oh.
Let's go on this semester.
Oh, that's actually pretty simple. Just really dumb. Thank you.
I mean, the same can be done with an arc cosine one. It's really just using the derivative rule, using the chain rule, going from there, okay? Yes. Not on the test. No, that's soft. But on the quiz. Let's talk about the quiz. So here's how you guys do it. Period 5, you'll be able to find it here, and it's open for you to take. Okay. Period 3 in here, you're gonna find it in your Unit 4 folder, and it says Quiz 43. Now, before you start, heads up. After tinkering with procedures for online quizzes all last year, I came up with this as being still not foolproof. People still cheat it, but at least it's the hardest way to cheat. Okay? Now, you guys, I'm not giving you a time limit. Last year I gave time limits. Okay, so you guys can take as much time as you want, but it ends at the end of the period. Questions are randomized, random order. You will only be able to see one question at a time, and you will not be able to go back and change your answers.
No way.
Way. Question review is no. So, random order, don't cheat with your neighbors because you're going to have different questions. You will not be able to look back on your previous answers once you have typed in your answer to number one and you press next. That's it. Number one's done. You can't go back and fix it. So, you will make sure you do it right the first time. You will all turn in your homework right now to the sub or to me. Turn in your homework. You all get a sheet of paper out. And that's the only thing on your desk is one sheet of paper. This is where you're going to show all your work. Your work shown will go into your slot over there. Right there. Okay? That's what you're turning in. Nobody takes work with them. You will not be able to see which questions you got wrong, but you will be able to see your grade after you submit it. So you turn in your work. We'll have to clip that out too.
I'm sorry, I want
Just collect them all. Here are all the derivative rules. If you have a fraction, type it in like this. You can pause this video, take your quiz. It's quiz 43 for you guys. Quiz 43, not quiz 44. There's no name on your worksheet's fine. Go into the Unit 4 folder. You guys online, you can click on it, but you guys here in class, go into the Unit 4 folder, and you got quiz 43. All right, good luck. Pause this so you can see this. When you're done with the quiz, online students, turn in your work. Make sure you turned in your homework for the sub. Watch the video of the linear approximations lesson.